Okay, greetings, people. We are still continuing with the external parasites. Earlier on, we looked at the ticks as external parasite. We tried to categorize them based on their life cycle. Now we are taking it further and looking at a nasal worm. In this case, we'll look at the nasal worm and the blowfly. It's very simple. I'll just brief you on what is crucial from this presentation. When we look at the nasal worm, I will start by looking at the cycle. We will quickly just look at the life cycle. So let's just say this is our life cycling, which is a nasal worm. What happens is that a nasal worm, it will start by laying eggs, which sometimes call it a fly because it looks like a fly. We say it will lay eggs. Where does it lay the eggs? It will lay the eggs on the nostrils. I think you are familiar with the nostrils, with the term nostrils. So it will lay the eggs on the nostrils. What will happen with those eggs? The eggs will then move to the sinus cavities or the nasal cavities. And then when they move, they will then hatch to form what? A larva. Then what will happen then? The sheep will sneeze. When the animal sneezes, it will sneeze out a fly in a form of what? Of a pupa. Then what will happen is that the pupa will then develop to form what? An adult. From this, I was trying to highlight the stages of a nasal worm. What happens, people, is that the adult worm will lay eggs where? On the nostrils. Then the eggs will hatch to form what? A larva. When the eggs hatch to form a larva, then they will move through the nasal cavities, the sinus cavities. What will happen is that when the animal sneezes, it will sneeze out it in a form of a pupa. So it goes to another stage, which is what? A pupa. Then the pupa will develop to form what? A nasal worm, as a or a nasal fly, a indala. So what happens here is that you have 4 stages. Stage number 1, eggs. Stage number 2, larva. Stage number 3, pupa. Stage number 4, adult worm. Remember, I said when we were talking about ticks, I said they will ask you to provide stages of a parasite. You can see that eggs is still here, adult is still here, larva was there when we were talking about what? About ticks. Even here it's still available. So make sure that you understand it in that case. I want to highlight this part. The nasal worm, they develop well, or they survive well in a season that we call summer. There is a question they will give you. They will ask you, which season will this parasite be more active, or will be more will affect the animal the most? The season that this parasite, which is the nasal worm, will be effective, it is what? The summer season. On this slide, what is crucial is to understand the stages. The eggs on the nostrils are laid by the adult worm. They hatch to form a larva. The larva is being sneezed out in a format of a pupa. Then the pupa develop to form what? An adult. Let's look at it here. What I want you to note here from this slide, what do you have here? You have eggs, people. The eggs are laid by what? They are laid by the adult flies or the adult worm. They deposit the eggs where? On the nostrils, if you can check there. Then what happens that the eggs will hatch to form what? A larva. Then the larva will go through the sinus cavities or the nasal cavities on those passages. What will happen is that the animal will then sneeze. When the animal sneezes, it will sneeze what? Pupa. The pupa, the pupa develops from what? From the larva. Then the pupa will develop to form what? To form a worm. You see here, it is in the form of what? Of a fly. Then the fly will become an adult. Once it becomes an adult, it comes again to lay eggs where? On the nostrils of what? Of the sheep. So make sure that you understand this cycle in a very simpler way. Let's look at it in this form. What do you have here, people? You have a cycle, but in this case there are no labels. Let's understand it simply. Let's just say this is our adult one. Sorry. Let's just say this is the adult one. What is it doing here? What is it doing? It is laying what? Eggs. When it lays the eggs, what will happen? The eggs will go through the sinus cavities. In a form of what? In a form of larva. In a form of larva. Then now the animal will sneeze out. When it sneezes, now the worm comes out in a form of what? In a form of pupa. In a form of pupa. So you can see the stages. It is the adult worm that lays eggs where? In the nostrils. Then the nostrils go to form what? A larva. The larva is being sneezed out in a form of what? Of a pupa. Then the pupa will develop up until it forms what? A worm. In this case, we can just say it's a young nasal worm or a young nasal fly. Then the young nasal fly, now it is an adult. The adult is doing what? It's laying eggs on what? On the nostrils. That is the simplest part about this cycle. Remember the season where it is most effective. We said it's what? It's summer. Please make sure that you understand it in that format. Okay, fine. We're done with the cycle. I try to dwell more on the cycle because it is sometimes there in the exam. Let's quickly look at the symptoms. The symptoms are simple, people. They are very simple. What will happen is that there will be irritation of sinuses and the animal will sneeze. There will also be yellow discharge from the nasal cavities. The animal will keep on shaking the head. Why it is shaking the head? It is trying to remove the parasite, which is the nasal worm or the nasal fly. There will also be weight loss. The rams will refuse to mate. The rams, ram, it is a male. It is a male sheep. So they are saying once the ram, the male sheep, is affected by the nasal worm, it will refuse to mate. I think you get it. It will refuse to mate. So it will refuse to mate with what? With the E, which is what? Which is the female worm. So in a simpler way, i-ram ngokuphathwa njengama-nasal, ngokuphathwa nje i-nasal worm, seyiyeka lo female. Ayisamate nalo female. So let's make sure that we treat the nasal worm in order to give pleasure to the ram and also to make sure that we enhance reproduction. Because if it cannot mate, it means there'll be no reproduction. So make sure that you understand it in that way. Then the last one, the eaves will refuse to cycle their lambs. So if the eaves itilawa enjani are female, so they will refuse to cycle their what? Their lambs. But let's master these ones. We say there will be irritation of sinuses and sneezing, yellow discharge, shaking of the head, trying to remove what? The parasite. I think you get, if you have those ones, you are safe. Let's look at the treatment. The treatment is simple. You inject the animal with ivermectin, sometimes they call it Ivermex. You also dose the animal with closantel. So it's simple. What I want you to master from this one, be able to master the life cycle: eggs, larva, pupa, adult. Also understand the season where it is most effective, summer. Then understand what the their symptoms. Okay, fine. Let's go and look at the blowfly